That's it, we're into the final part of the UK Garage tutorial. By the end of this video, you'll be able to create and mix an entire UK Garage track from scratch. Today, I'm not only going to show you how to create a melody section for UKG, but I'm also going to show you the winning formula in how to create your vocal chops. Welcome to Inspired By, a series where we look at the musical trends, past and present, to understand the techniques used so that you guys can make better music. I'm Will, I make music under Hushchild. In the previous episodes, we looked at creating that iconic bass line and the two-step rhythm section. So if you haven't yet watched those, make sure to hop on over, take some notes, and then jolly back this way. And on that note, that'll be your third time back, so consider hitting that subscribe button as well. Let's jump into it. All right, so it's starting to get quite exciting now because so far we have a track that's relatively lo-fi. There's not a lot of high frequency sounds. So we're going to use a combination of presets and things we're going to create ourselves. So let's start from scratch. Make sure you stick around to the end because I'm going to show you how to cut up the perfect vocal chops for really any beat. It doesn't have to be UK Garage. Let's get to making our first instrument. So I'm going to use Serum for this one. And the reason for that being is because it's going to give us plenty of parameters to manipulate our sound. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to go to oscillator A and I'm going to choose analog BD sine. And I'm going to go to the warp marker here and I'm going to choose PWM. We're going to have a little bit of noise that's going to be sent directly to our out. I'm going to go to my filter and I'm going to set this to flanges and CMB plus. This, I'm going to bring the res up and I'm going to move the cutoff over slightly, bring that drive right up, just so it kind of meets the line here. Choose this piano mark in here. So that means that the notes that I play are affecting this filter here. From this point, I'm going to bring my sustain down. My release is fine where it is, and I'm going to bring my decay down slightly as well. And remove my LFO over here, and I'm just going to bring it down slightly and assign my LFO to the level here. So you notice there that it's looping. So I'm going to set this to envelope. Something like that is cool. And I'm going to do the same to the level on our noise here. That's all sounding good. I'm going to go over to my effects, and the first thing that I'm going to choose is my reverb, and this needs to be set to Hall because we want that spin depth right there, and I'm going to take the lows out. Turn my spin depth up to about 28%, and I'm going to go to my chorus and turn that on, just leave it how it is. I'm going to choose my hyper dimension, and I'm going to bring the mix down to about 30%. Everything else can stay the same. And finally, I'm going to add my EQ and I'm going to basically high pass it so we can sweep this frequency right up. We've got a little bit of bounce in our low end there, so I'm going to bring this low cut up a little bit more. Cool, so about there. And finally, I'm going to go over to my matrix and I'm going to set macro 2 to warp envelope A. And we're going to set this to the forward marking here. Oh, and we have forgotten to do one thing. We're going to choose this envelope and we're going to set it to PWM there. There we go. So we have a little bit more of a pluck kind of sound. It's entirely up to you where you set it. And we're going to add another EQ to just high pass some of these sounds and just control these sounds a little bit more. I'm going to bring up the brightness a tad and go back to my Serum just to take the level down ever so slightly on the noise. Let's see if we can play a pattern in our keys. Not bad. I know there was a bum note just here, so we're going to get rid of that. I'm going to press Command A and then Command U to get everything in time. And we've lost our first note, but that's all right. We know that we're in G. Now, something I want to do is double up this sound. So I'm going to copy that down, but I'm just going to set this instance of Serum, I'll turn this off for now, to just the standard E piano. So let's see what this sounds like. I'm going to basically invert this EQ. So let's get rid of our option there. We don't want it to be as bright, so we're going to roll this right down. Just going to get rid of some of this low end. Not too bad. Let's put those together. I'm going to make these notes a little bit more plucky. That's nice. And I don't think we need to add reverb because it kind of carries over with the above synth. Let's see what that sounds like. And at this point, what I want to do is just add a little vocal chop. So here's the secret, right? I have one that I've already worked on here and I use this quite a lot. And it's actually from a Kalani a cappella. And I created this. For obvious reasons, I'm not going to play the actual song. And if you're not using the Kalani vocal, of course, you can use any a cappella. I normally use a female vocal, which I'll then maybe pitch up a couple of steps as well, and high pass. And the secret to creating a vocal chop that works really, really well is finding those vowel sounds, especially the A, the E, and the U sounds. So we've got an assortment of those sounds now. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to chop it up to something that works outside of my rhythm. And this is what we're left with. And I've added a little EQ with a high pass filter. I'm actually going to add a glue compressor there just to bring some of those higher transients down a little bit. There we go. I really, really like that. A little bit of Haas effect there. But if you don't have this Kilohertz plugin, you can just do it with sample delay. So it's a little bit loud at the minute. I'm going to group these. If you're interested in any of the gear that I use, becoming a member of my Patreon, or getting involved in our bi-weekly beat battle, then the links are in the description below. Now the great thing about this is we can create a little intro with some chords as well using the melodic group. If we move all of this over one space, this section on the right can be our main section. This section here can be our intro section. And what we'll do with this section is just create a little riser perhaps. We'll take out our kicks, possibly our snares as well, or our rim. And let's take out our sub as well. With this, we can create a new sub section. And this is just going to increase in reverb. We're going to play between two notes, and we're just going to play the G and the C. And then the sharps, so the G sharp and the D. Yeah, something like that, I think. Let's just try this.
A few moments later.
All right, so I've made a couple of tiny tweaks of a technique which I want to show you guys in our next video. This is what we're left with. So there we go, guys. We've created an entire UK garage track. The project is available if you're part of my Patreon. But sincerely, what do you guys want to see me break down in future videos? Leave a comment below and let's have a chat. Do make sure you come back again, because in the next video, I'm going to be showing you guys 3 ways that you can creatively and tastefully manipulate your tracks and force the perspective of the audio. Until then, guys, take care and I'll see you next time.